Hi, I'm Joanna of Joanna Lee Photography, and welcome back to another interview. Today's guest you might have seen on Seinfeld, Going in Style, or Forrest Gump. Today I'm joined with actress, mother, and fellow New Jerseyan, Siobhan Fallon Hogan. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, Joanna, I'm thrilled to be here. I've known you since you're a little kid, and I can't believe what you're doing. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. So to start off today's interview, I would love to ask you, how did you find your passion for acting?
Well, I'm one of five, and when I was in third grade, I was cast as the last wheel in the train of the caboose in the play called The Proud Train, and I was not allowed to audition for the conductor because only boys could play conductors. And I love being on stage.
You went to school for acting, so what was that like, and how was that experience?
Well, actually, I went undergraduate for liberal arts, and I was actually supposed to be a teacher. And then when I finished college, or my senior year in college at Lemoyne College in Syracuse, we were supposed to do our student teaching. And I was like, wait a minute, I really want to be an actress because I had done all the plays. I'd done a lot of, theater over the years. And so then I looked into graduate school programs and I auditioned for Catholic University in Washington, D.C., where Susan Sarandon went and John Voight went and John Slattery. And anyway, I auditioned, I got in, and that's where I went to get my training.
Awesome. So what was it like going into the real world and auditions and jobs after school?
It was a scene and a half because you pictured that it's going to be all rosy, and I was basically a pauper. It's hard. But I started off doing my first paying jobs were summer stock theater in, summer theaters in Vermont. And I did a summer season in Maine. And then all summers. And then, would work during the year and audition. The main goal was in those days to get an agent or get your equity card. But then I finally auditioned for a comedy club, for an improv group at a place called Who's on First on 65th and First in New York City, which is no longer there actually. And the director said, why don't you write a one-person show? And so I did. And so I wrote a one-person show, and it was well reviewed in New York City. And then I brought it out to LA, and we actually did it in San Diego first. And Seinfeld came and saw it, and Saturday Night Live came and saw it. And so that was kind of, instead of waiting around for someone to give me a part because they really weren't, I then sort of had a head start because I wrote all the parts I would love to play. And that's what happened.
That's amazing. I love you on Seinfeld as Elaine's roommate. So
it was so fun.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was amazing. I mean, they're all great people and great, hilarious and professionals. And it was really interesting because I was on the first season when they were not sure if they were going to be picked up for the second season. So, I saw them at a stage when most people didn't see them, kind of sweating it, and I loved being on the show. I was Kramer's girlfriend. I was Lane's roommate, and it was just fantastic.
Do you have any specific memories or stories that you can share about being on set with different actors, such as Morgan Freeman in Going in Style? I love that scene in the end where you're dancing.
Yes. Well, actually, that was so funny because Michael Caine, who I love, was in the movie, and Morgan Freeman, who I love. I've always admired both of their careers. And I had watched a video, which I always tell to kids that they should watch if they want to be actors, which Michael Caine made for the BBC, which is acting on film. And it's basically, you could save yourself a lot of money if you're an acting student and just watch that and learn so much about film acting. And I said to Michael, I have to tell you, that taught me so much. And I went to graduate school and I studied at Bill Esper Studios after graduate school. And he said, Sean, to be honest with you, I don't know how to teach people how to act, but the BBC asked me to do the tape and I did it. And then at the end, Zach Braff, the director, said, Siobhan, you can dance with whoever you want to at the party. Who'd you like to dance to? I said, well, of course, Morgan Freeman. We had the best time. Yeah, so it was great. And my son actually was was he in high school? Yeah, I was in high school and he came and he was an extra in it. So that was nice too, to be able to, I was trying to kind of bring my kids along it to sort of share it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like being so local. How is it like being locally recognized at places like you have a signed picture at Seabright Pizza and film festivals in New Jersey? What is that like for you
When
being?
you have your signed picture at Seabright Pizza, that means you get to be a fatso.
Oh,
So no, Kono is so great. No, it's awesome. I mean, when I did my, I wrote a film that will be in theaters August 27th called Rushed. And we filmed it in New Jersey. It'll be almost 2 years ago in October. And it was amazing because everyone was so generous and helped out. And, there's a lot of great local talent who do very well in films. Brian O'Halloran, from Clerks, Michael Mulhern. So, and a lot of friends, because Rumson is so close to New York City, a lot of friends of mine who are actors came out and then people flew in from like LA, like Robert Patrick, who's one of the leads. And he plays my husband in it. And he, and Jake Weary, who came from LA, people put us up in their homes, like friends of mine. I was like, hey, I have friends coming in town. The budget's not that big. And yeah, people were unbelievable, brought meals. And then, I remember when I first moved to Rumson, I got up early and I was kind of traumatized. I'd moved from New York City and I was like, kind of like, should I have moved? And this is going on 17 years ago now. And my neighbors, and I walked my dog in my robe and he said, Siobhan, don't you think it's a little early? Don't you think you should get to know people a little better before you walk your dog in your robe? And I was like, hey, listen, they're going to have to get to know me.
Yeah.
And as you know, Joanna, your mom works at the bank and I talk to everyone at the bank. My sisters, when they come down from Syracuse, they're like, Siobhan, why do you talk to everyone everywhere? And I'm like, I like people. I'm a people person. No, I love New Jersey's awesome. And everyone, Red Bank, Rumson, Middletown, they were so amazing. Like as far as letting me use locations, I was in mansions, I was in stores, I was in churches. It was, you just ask and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, it was great.
So what was it like for you creating this movie? So since you've always been in front of the camera, what was it like working behind the scenes?
Well, I did both because I wrote, played the mother in it. So, but I was producing the whole time and like on the phone. So it's weird because you don't have any real downtimes. Like they yell cut and you're still on the phone. Our director, Vibeke Musaya, is from Denmark and she'd be like, Siobhan Fallon Hogan, get off the phone, stop producing, focus on the character. But you didn't really have time to because you had to like find out like are the meals coming? Is the next location ready? And sort of, communicating that way. So it's really, it's just full on when you're doing both.
So since you wrote the movie, what was it like for you seeing your ideas come to life?
It's so bizarre. I mean, the first time that we did a read through, with the family, it was Robert Patrick, myself, and Lily Rosenthal, and Ellie Frankel, and who played my son, Liam Hogan, who's my nephew. And I heard them. I was like, oh my, it's great to be able to hear it, do a table read through, which is really important because then you can kind of switch it up. And it's, you've been working on it, living with the script for so long, and then you do it and it comes to life, and that's the best part of it. I mean, I'm writing another one right now that we're going to film in upstate New York, at almost a year to the day that we did the other. Like the new movie Rushed will come out August 27th in theaters and on streamers.
Very cool.
Actually, we'll be in Red Bank September 1st. No, pardon me, August 28th. But it'll be in the country in August 27th. And September 27th, we'll start filming the new movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that's not going to be, that won't be in New Jersey. We're filming that in upstate, in Syracuse, in the surrounding area. That's where I am now. Yeah.
So do you have any specific stories that you can share from creating this movie and being on set in all these different places?
Well, it was insane because it was literally like everybody I ever knew and or if I didn't know them, respected them and wanted them to be in the movie. Like my friend Erin Fraser, she's one of the producers. She worked on Saturday Night Live when I was on Saturday Night Live. Patrick Clifton, who is a great writer and he was my roommate in LA. He went to Catholic U with me. He's a big writer and he came in from LA because he's from Mattawan, so he was a producer on it. And then, the cinematographer, I mean, first of all, it was completely like international house because our director, Vibeke, is from Denmark. The editor, Sabine, Emiliani, who did March of the Penguins and many other amazing movies. She edited. She was in France, so we edited in France, in Bordeaux, France. So I was there for like 3 months. And then Matthias Schubert, who's a great cinematographer I'd worked with in the past, he's German, and he came, and then our makeup artist is French by chance. So it was just all these people that I'd worked with over the years, or new people that I'd worked with over the years, that came together. I'm a member of the Atlantic Theater Company, a company member for years, David Mamet and Bill Macy's company, and Neil Pepe, the artistic director, and Mary McCann, who runs the school there. They were both in the film because they're both actors as well. So yeah, it was pretty great.
Wow. Well, I'm so excited to see this movie.
Yes.
And thank you so much for doing this interview. And before you go, do you have any advice for people who would want to be going into acting or filmmaking?
Well, I think that I think it's a kind of a great time, because I think your generation has the access to create so much of their own material. I mean, the phones are so high tech. I think that it's great to get training. That's really important, that you get the right training, that you learn from people older than you and get the experience, volunteer on sets, intern, read like crazy, read all the classics, read Ibsen, read Chekhov, read the great plays. I think most great filmmakers in my day came from theater. I think most of your generation wants to go right into film. But I think it's really important to learn from the greats, like Eugene O'Neill and Shakespeare, just really read. I'd say watch every Academy Award winning movie from the beginning, and the best writers, who won for best writer, who won for best actress, who won for best movie, best direction, and be educated about in the field. So that's what I would say. I would also say, make sure you see my movie Rushed, and it's also going to be on streamers, because now they have something called Day and Date, where they release it in the theater and they release it on streamers the same day. So that's August 27th. We'll be in the theater in Red Bank the 28th, but in the country the 27th.
Cool.
And in streamers the 27th. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for your time in this interview.
You're so welcome. Thanks so much.
Of course, I'm looking forward to your movie.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.